Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salvation on down to the Akim pushing out this truth. I'm Tazayar Gabar from Waco, Texas, and I come in weekend to teach about the destruction and the downfall of America and who are the true children of Israel that the Bible speaks of. So a lot has been happening since 2020 on down to where we at now, 2021, February 27th. So, and 2 days ago, Joe Biden, he sent out a bomb strike on Syria. So, what day was that? Thursday, President Joe Biden bombed Syria. He put the order, the hit out to bomb Syria. So, you got war and tension is being built up between the U.S. and Iran. And with that, Russia is going to be involved because you got Iran allies that's going to get involved too, because they do business trades with Iran, and U.S. steady going over there trying to invade. They're also messing with these other countries. So you got tension and war being built up between the nations, which that's what Matthew 24 speaks about. So you got Russia and Iran, and then the U.S. They starting to build up war with those Iranians, Iraq, the nation of Elam, and ultimately with themselves, which is Russia, because Russia is also Edomites too. Like Scripture says, a house divided shall not stand. So, I mean, that's what's happening between these two countries, and with that, these other countries are going to get involved, and all that's going to lead to America being destroyed, because all these countries are going to turn on America. And also, you got Joe Biden. He mentioned that he purchased 1 million microchips, and that was Thursday. He said he purchased 1 million microchips, computer chips or whatever, and that's going to lead to that mark of the beast, Revelation 13. So this devil is making his moves. And you also got the little term on YouTube where they banning videos, the brothers' videos that they putting up, coming up against the truth, deeming it hate speech, deleting our channels like they've been doing, but right now it's at an all-time high. And also, they mention how the Hebrew Israelites, which they call us black Hebrew Israelites, how we're becoming more militant. That was also mentioned in the news, how the black Hebrew Israelites are becoming more militant and we're being deemed as terrorists. So all that is happening now. That's prophecy, and that's what happened in the days of old. The prophets, they always was hated and thrown in prisons, guillotines, stocks, and beheaded. They got stoned. Like the ancient prophets was always hated by men and by governments, because we spoke the truth. We spoke against wickedness. So that's what's happening. They already deeming us as terrorists. And the reason why these groups like that Grandmaster J group, I forgot what they call themselves. Shit. Dang, what they call themselves? Shoot, I forgot. I think it was Black Militant Antifa or whatever. Yeah. All that was set up by Esau. They created this group, Antifa, and I believe it was a Black Lives Matter. They created all these groups just to demonize us, because they're gonna use those groups. They're gonna say these groups are becoming dangerous, and they're gonna throw us with it. But all we're doing is preaching out of the Bible, preaching the truth out of the Bible. That's all we're doing. But that's what they're gonna do. That's why they created these groups with these false black leaders. So yeah, they're gonna grab us up. It's like, but yeah, I saw they had a video about that in the news. They was deeming the prophets as hate groups and terrorists, and how we're becoming more militant. But let me get that Matthew real quick. It's 24. Starting with the bombs in Syria, how U.S. bombed Syria Thursday. I'm gonna get Matthew 10 and slide. Matthew 24:7. It says, "And ye shall hear wars." Well, this verse 6. "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars, and see that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine, pestilence, earthquakes in diverse places." So that's what's happening now. Because this is when Yahweh Shai was getting ready to get crucified, and one of the disciples asked, "How shall we know when the end is yet?" And then he gave us hints of when we will be living in the end times, like the very end of a destruction of a kingdom. And that's what he said. When you hear wars and rumors of wars, and that's what's happening now in the news between Iran and U.S. And that tension is going to build up. And that started all the way in January 2020. Yeah, January, when Donald Trump killed General Salman, not Salman, but Iran's top leader. He sent a hit out to kill him, and it's been tension ever since. So that's gonna build up, and all these other countries, they're gonna get tired of America. They're gonna turn on America, and that's when they're gonna shoot those nuclear missiles over here and destroy Babylon the Great, which is America. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So you see the earthquakes. Earthquakes have been at an all-time high in different spots, at an all-time high since 2020. So when you start seeing all, Yahweh Shah said, when you start hearing and seeing all this, then you should know the end is come. It's the beginning of sorrows, the beginning of an end. Well, we're at the end, but this is this is leading to the final destruction. And it's like, I think it was in Luke. Yeah, it was in Luke. And going into how we're getting deemed as terrorists. This is Luke 21. Well, Luke is pretty much the same thing as Matthew. Luke 21:9. But when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass. But the end is not by and by. That's what we hearing now. Wars, rumors of wars in the news. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilence. And you see somewhat sort of kind of a famine now. In these stores, all the food and stuff, the shelves completely wiped out. I know it was like that in Texas where I'm at. They starting to like kind of restock now. But yeah, every time it's a like event, like what happened with Texas, it was the snow that was here 2 weeks ago, and people were scared, and literally every stores, the shelves and racks was completely empty. So how much more in times of Jacob's trouble when we get fully off in it? Jeremiah 30:7. All the Slakia. It's going to be famines, and people are going to start committing cannibalism when there's no more food left. And pestilence. It's going to be actual real diseases. Right now, we got the coronavirus, but that ain't nothing but, like a setup to start their new world order. Slakia, let's see. And fearful things and fearful sights and great signs shall be there from heaven. Shall be there from heaven. So verse 12, this is the point right here. It says, but before all these things, they shall lay their heads on you. But before all these things, they shall lay their hands on you. So this is what they've been doing in the media, demonizing us, calling us terrorists and hate groups. It says, but before all these things, so before, so you already got the tension between Iran and America and so on. So before America gets destroyed, before that destruction happens, they shall lay their hands on the prophets and persecute you and deliver you up to synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. So before America fully get destroyed by them nuclear missiles, they're going to be scooping up the prophets up. They're going to be hunting us down. They're going to be trying to kill us. But the thing is, the Lord is going to lift up a standard this time. Because back in the ancient days, the prophets would get stoned. They would get like demonized. People would try to fight them, try to kill them, throw them in prisons. But this time, the Lord is going to lift up a standard. And he's going to put that spiritual powers on brothers. But certain brothers are going to get brought up to the kings and rulers of the earth, which is those Rothschilds, those fake Jews, and those Rockefellers, and these rich elite bankers, because they watch our videos and they know we're speaking the truth. So that's Luke 21:12. So they're gonna bring us up to them, and they're gonna persecute us. Yeah, and throw us in prisons. Because some brothers are gonna die for this truth, but the thing is, we're gonna get risen up first, and we're gonna get beamed up in those chariots, and we're gonna have that automatic crown on our heads for doing this work. So our works are not done in vain, and we're gonna be able to. We're gonna get that revenge also, because even though we die, we're gonna get new bodies, and we're gonna be brought back on this earth, and we're gonna get these elites, the ones who persecute us. So it's not like being a 2/3 and dying a horrible, miserable death and getting nothing, not getting your revenge back. Having to be born in the kingdom of heaven all over again as a newborn baby. That's the difference. So before all these things, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you and deliver you up to the synagogues and into prisons for my name's sakes, for preaching this truth, which you had back in December, Barnes and Nobles, where I got this Bible from, Barnes and Nobles. They banned the Bible. I mean, I haven't been in there, but they had a little article saying how they banned the Bible because of old, outdated, separate. You know how you read the Bible? If you're in this truth, you know that the Lord is really for Israel only, us blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, and not these other nations of people. So that's why they banned the Bible in Barnes and Noble. So they don't even sell these Bibles no more. And as these days come, and they deleting the brothers' channels on YouTube and striking channels. So brothers moving from different platforms. So that's this word, famine of the word is coming. Amos 8 and 11. So just by preaching this Bible, we're gonna get demonized and sent to prison and killed. Some of us are, but once they get killed, we're gonna get risen up first and get that automatic crown. So you die for the name of the Lord. Hey, that's a beautiful death. I'm gonna get Amos 8 and 11 real quick. Amos 8 and 11. Behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. So that's what's going to happen, and that's what's happening now. So back to Luke 21. This is Revelation 2 and 10. Like get a piece of it here. Whoa. Salaki on that real quick. foremost, first I'm gonna get John 15:18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you. Before it hated. So that's Yahweh Shah talking. He said, if the world hated me, if the world hated you, know that it hated me before it hated you. Because we speaking this word, and this word is the word of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So everything we're speaking is true. So if the world hate us for speaking the truth, that means they hate the Heavenly Father and Yahweh Shai. It's like, now I'm gonna get Revelation 2:10. Revelation 2:10, it says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So these nobles, like it mentioned in Isaiah 13, this word have reached the nobles. The nobles are the elites, the ones that's ruled, the Edomites that rule this whole world. Those rich, top elite bankers, they watch our videos. Like, they literally sit down, and that's how you know this is the truth. They rich, they got everything, they could do anything they want, and all they do is figure out ways to destroy the Israelites. Like they put the woman over the man, which goes against the order of the household. They took the fathers up out of the house. They get these sellout people of our nation to pull, like, to rap that death music, rap about killing your own people. They get the woman that rap about being whores and sluts and how they don't need a man to destroy their own people. Your Cardi B's, Mega D Stallone, they get sellouts of our nation of people to push out these death music, because music controls people, because our bodies are made of water, and when you singing that music, it puts spirits on you. So you got these rappers and singers or whatever that keep us at a dead low state. Yeah, they demonize us in the movies. So all throughout history, these devils, they put GMOs in our food. They put pork in everything. They pollute the water. They put fluoride in the water. They put water in plastic bottles, which cause cancer. Like, all of that to destroy Israel. That's how you know it's the truth. And let alone these devils, they be watching our videos because they know our Lord is getting ready to come back, and he's going to put them in chains and shackles. So these devils, like, they hate us. That's why it says the devil shall cast some of you into prisons. Be faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Which backs up the point. Be faithful unto death, you get an automatic crown on your head. So our works that we're doing out here, laboring, is not being done in vain. back in Luke real quick. And it also say in Luke 4 and 24, this is Yahweh Shah talking. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, no prophet is accepted in his own country. Luke 4 and 24. So no prophet has ever been accepted in his own country because we speak the truth. So that's how you know these Christian pastor churches, that's how you know that they don't have the truth. It's a lot. That's ultimately how you know they don't have the truth, because they call themselves prophets and preachers, but everybody love them because they preaching that love doctrine. Yahweh Shah loves the world. Jesus loved the world. He's all love. He loved every single nation on this planet. You know? So that's how you know they don't have this truth. This truth is not in them. They false prophets. They do all that singing and dancing, and all they do is take your money. That's pretty much. They prophets, not prophets. They make profit, P-R-O-F-I-T, not P-R-O-P-H-E-T. They're not prophets, they prophets, like literally, because they taking your money and they leading you to the slaughter because they ain't teaching you this truth. But Revelation 2 and 9, it says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So that's what these devils are. They're the synagogue of Satan. Man, I wish I had an umbrella. It started. Yo, it might start raining, man. I ain't got no tent or nothing. Dang. I should have brought an umbrella. It'd be like, ah, shoot. You got the sunlight right there, though. Yeah. Hopefully it don't rain. Lord willing, the Lord will hold back the rain. God. Yeah, but Yahweh Shah says, you know these, so you got these fake Jews. They call themselves Jewish. And Yahweh Shah, he says, I know the tribulation and the poverty. He's talking about us, the real Jews. The real Jews are in poverty, and we finna go through a tribulation. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Jacob's trouble. And he said, but thou art rich. Even though we're at this low estate, we gotta serve under Esau, Edom. We in captivity. They calling us niggas and spigs and savages. Blacks, Latinos, Native Indians. But we are spiritually rich. Those of us that know this truth and that's in this truth, we're poorer physically, but spiritually we're rich. Because we got this truth, this word. We got this light. We know who we are. We're not out here calling ourselves black people and African American, Mexican, and all that. Native American, Brazilian, Venezuelan, all that. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews, and that's Amalek, the oldest son of Esau, Edom, the fake Jews. They got the long beards, the little Abraham Lincoln hat. They got the little curly hair on the side. They wear all black with the little white, looking goofy as hell. And are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So they ain't the Jews, they're the synagogue of Satan. They ain't the real biblical Jews, they're the synagogue of Satan. That's what they are. So Revelation 3 and 9. So this is what's going to happen to the synagogue of Satan. Revelation Revelation 3, verse 9. It says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie." So they saying that they're Jews, and they know they're not Jews, so they're lying about it. And you also got some Edomites who admit that we are the real Jews, and they even put it on camera. Some Edomite Amaleks, though some fake Jewish, they said that the real Jews are the Negroes, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee. So they're going to come worship us by our feet. They're going to bow down and worship us. And they're going to know that the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, love us, the real Jews, the Negroes, on down with the rest of the children of Israel, the blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. But yeah, the reason why Esau Edom does all this, because they know, they know that we are the children of Israel. Slide. Yeah, they know, like it says in Ezekiel, and all that goes back to the birthright, because they sold their birthright to us back in Genesis 25th chapter, and then 27th chapter. Jacob disguised himself as Esau and took the birthright. The blessing. But that's the way the Lord set it up. As it said in Genesis 25 and 25, the elder shall serve the younger. So the blessing and the birthright really belonged to Jacob to begin with, but the Lord had to set up in his movie, his storyline to where Esau had it first, and then Jacob ended up getting it. That's the way the Lord set it up, because he told Rebekah that. And that's why Rebekah helped Jacob disguise himself as Esau Edom. But I kill, man. But Genesis 27 and 40 and 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing, wherein his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, then will I slay my brother Jacob. And jumping up to verse 40, it says, and by thy sword thou shalt live. So how did they take us down? How did they put us in captivity? By that sword. So they put us in captivity by that sword, which is that gun. Esau blessed with the gun. It showed you in the movie Judas and the Black Messiah how the Black Panther, they tried to fight with their guns and they were shooting, but they got killed because that's not their blessing. Like the scene where the Black Panther dude, he ran up inside that store and he was saying, now what did these dudes do to you? And then the cops was talking shit and he put out his gun and started shooting. He shot one cop and killed him, I believe, but the cop ended up shooting him, and then they ended up putting him in a hospital, and they ended up killing him. Goes to show you that you can't beat Esau Edom carnally, because being carnal, that's Esau's blessing, having that gun, that sword. And I also showed you when they was in that building, that woman with the afro, and that the other guy that was shooting Esau Edom, when they had all them cop cars out and they was shooting inside the Black Lives. That's the Black Panther movie, the Judas and the Black Messiah. They was shooting, and then they they shot the man in the chest or whatever, and then they had to surrender, and then Esau Edom blew up the building. Yeah, that goes to show you can't beat Esau Edom with his own blessing, because our blessing is spiritual. This word, this is our blessing, and this is gonna be this is him. I mean, this word is gonna actually come, and we're gonna get that spiritual power. We're gonna get spiritual power. So in these last days, when Esau come in like a flood, as it say Revelation 12:12, the Lord is gonna lift up a standard, and that's Isaiah 40, I believe. And He's gonna give us the spiritual power to fight. We're gonna be like Superman up in this mud. But yeah, it says, and Esau hated Jacob, Genesis 27:40, because of the blessing. So that's why these white people hate us, these Edomites. And it says, wherein his father blessed him, and Esau said in his heart, in his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, and I will slay my brother Jacob. So he kept that wrath forever. So Amos 1:11. So that's why these white people hate us. So-called white people. You got lost jakes out here thinking that the so-called white man hate us because of our skin color. Like, that's retarded. That's like saying I hate you because you got green eyes. Nah, but that hatred goes all the way back to Genesis. It's spiritual. Oh man, page is blowing. Amos 1:11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, for 3 transgressions of Esau, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with a sword, that gun. How did he overthrow the Native Americans and take their land? How did he get the land from the Native Americans that was here? By that sword. And did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually. Perpetually means forever. Everlasting hatred. And he kept his wrath forever. And he kept his wrath forever. So he kept that hatred for us so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians forever. So this devil hates us. You can't join hand in hand with the so-called white man, like Martin Luther King said. Like, which Martin Luther King was set up by those Rothschilds. He was a false leader any damn way. He was just set up to stir the sheep array, whatever. And that's why he said before he died, I have led my people into a burning building. Even Malcolm X, that was all set up by Esau Edom, false leaders. And what did Esau do? He killed them. It's going to show you that Esau Edom is the devil. Martin Luther King painted this illusion that blacks, so-called blacks and white people can get along. And nah, we weren't meant to get along. We never were meant to get along. The so-called white man is the enemy the Bible speaks of. Every animal in the jungle knows their enemy. The lions know their enemy are the hyenas. Like every animal knows who their enemy is, except for people. Like, we try to join hands with the enemy. Like in that movie, Judas and the Black Messiah. Like that O'Neal dude, he turned against Fred Hampton just to get the crumbs of the so-called white man, just to be joined hands with the so-called white man, and to save his ass from getting put in jail for trying to steal cars and shit. Like, if you haven't watched that movie, you should go see it. Judas and the Black Messiah. It's pretty good. Yeah. So a nigga would do anything just to eat the crumbs of the so-called white man, which is that money. Like in that movie Queen and Slim, which is similar to Judas and the Black Messiah. That dude, he sold out his people that was trying to get away from the cop. He sold them out just so he could get a whole bunch of money. Then at the end, it showed him with a whole bunch of money, and he had the gold teeth looking real ugly and shit. And here it is, his people, the black dude or whatever, he killed that cop because it was a crooked cop, and the cop was trying to kill them. And then they was fleeing from the whole movie. They was going all across town, trying to go to Cuba. And then they ran into this dude who said he knew where they could get a plane, which he really just sold out. He told the government, the feds, where they was gonna be at, and they gave him a whole bunch of money, and he dipped. Yeah. So he showed them the plane area where it was, and then he left, and then they was running to the plane. They thinking they gonna make it, then a whole bunch of police cars come. And then, what happened after that? Yeah, they was just standing there still, and the police just shot them. Yeah, shot them a whole bunch of times. But yeah, that's the movie Queen and Slim. But to stay on topic, like you see in these brutality videos with the police, they'll just shoot you and keep on shooting you even after you're dead, which shows that perpetual hatred. And going back to these false leaders, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, which he was carnal. He was the type to like want to fight back or whatever with the guns, but that didn't go nowhere because Jake don't even know how to shoot guns on top of that. But yeah, they set these false leaders up, and there's pictures on the internet of Martin Luther King hanging with the Rothschilds and smiling and laughing and drinking whiskey and shit. It goes to show you how they were just set up to give us hope and then crush it. But Ezekiel 35:5. This Ezekiel 35, verse 5. It says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time of their iniquity had an end. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, and thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So, going back to that word perpetual, it means never ending. So the Lord says, because thou hast had perpetual hatred against the children of Israel in the time of their calamity and iniquity, therefore, as I live, said the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. I will make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it that passeth out, and him that returneth. And that's no coincidence. Esau, Edom, or it says Mount Seir, I will make Mount Seir desolate. Esau dwelled in Mount Seir in the time of Genesis. So that Mount Seir is talking about Esau, Edom. And Esau, Edom is ruling America and the whole world, primarily America, the so-called white man. And it's also prophesied America is going to be left desolate. In Isaiah 34, Isaiah 13, America, Babylon the Great will be left desolate. And right here in Ezekiel 35, it said Esau, Edom will be left desolate. So that's how you know that Esau, Edom is a so-called white man and Babylon is America. Because he's ruling America. And America says in the Bible, Babylon the Great, Babylon in the Bible says it's going to be left desolate. And we just read in Ezekiel 35, Esau will be left desolate. So that's how you know that Esau, Edom is going to be destroyed with America. But the elites, that's the thing, when those nuclear missiles hit and this whole 50 states become a lake of fire, these elites are going to escape that because they got underground bunkers and underwater hotels. And that's when the Lord is going to beam up his elect, and we're going to get spiritual bodies, new bodies. We're going to have spiritual power, and we're going to come back down to earth and grab up these elites. And you know, Jacob Rothschild and John D. Rockefeller, all of them, they're going to be scared shitless, bro. They hide in their bunker, and all you see is, you see the door bust open, just rip that bitch, rip it out. The door goes flying somewhere, and all you see is a tall, dark-skinned Negro man with white woolly hair and red eyes looking angry, and then you got a whole army behind him. A whole army behind him of blacks, so-called blacks and Latinos and Native Indians. Yo, they gonna be fucking scared, bro. They gonna be trying to, they gonna have a heart attack and die, and we're gonna bring their spirit back to their body and snatch their ass up out of that bunker and throw them in chains and shackles and put them in slavery. Man, it's gonna be crazy. It says, I will fill his mountains with his slain, men in thy hills and in thy valleys, men in thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. So the Lord is going to be slaying them with the sword. I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return. Like it say Malachi 1 and 4. They all pride. I'm going to get that too. Ye shall know that I am the Lord. That I am the Lord. Yahweh. I am the Lord. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Malachi 1 and 4. I'm going to get that. And a city shall not return. These damn devils pride, man. This is what Malachi said about them. This is Malachi 1 and 4. I'm gonna start up real quick though. I'm gonna start at Malachi 1 and 2. It's like Malachi 1 and 3. And I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste. For the dragons of the wilderness. And it says in Isaiah 34 how America is going to become a wilderness, because when those nuclear missiles devour this whole place, it ain't going to be no more trees and green grass, beautiful flowers, rivers, lakes. It ain't gonna be a livable place no more for people, especially Israel, because we ain't gonna be here. This is the land of our captivity. This is Egypt. This is Egypt all over again. Bondage. So this is the land of our bondage. We ain't gonna be here. It says, I hated Esau and laid his mountains. I hated Esau. And laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. So it said in Isaiah 13-34, Isaiah 34, America is going to become a wilderness. And now it says, I laid Esau heritage waste for the dragons in the wilderness. So this is Esau's heritage, America. So yeah, this America is going to become a wilderness. His heritage is going to become a wilderness for the desert animals to dwell. It ain't going to be no more livable inhabitant. Like it says, Isaiah 34, the Arabs should not pitch tent here, because you got these other countries, they benefit off of America, because Israel is our big consumers. We buy all this, we try to live high dollar, even though we had a poor state. That's in our spirit, because we are royalty people. We're supposed to be like dressing real nice and all that, but like Israel, we buy all that shit like Polo and Gucci and high price Jordans and all that. So that's how they make their money, these foreign countries, and which that material stuff that they use for these, like Jordans, that stuff, it comes from China, and that stuff really costs like $10 or $14, and they come here and sell it for like $250 and $300, and then you got these resellers, they buy all the shit and then double the damn price of what is the original release date is supposed to be. Damn resellers, man. They bought up all the PS5s. The PS5s been out since November. You can't even get it, and it's about to be March because of the damn resellers. Bought up all the damn PlayStation 5s and selling them for $2,000 when they really cost like $499. Yeah, resellers, yo. You can't do nothing for resellers. Fucking resellers. Now it says, yeah. So the Lord laid Esau's heritage waste. Slack. The Lord laid Esau's heritage waste. That's what he's gonna do. So there ain't gonna be no more livable place. It's just gonna be a place for desert creatures, scorpions, eagles, hawks, jackrabbits, all type of abominable creatures living here. That's what it's gonna be. A desert. That's what that fire is gonna turn this place into. From those nuclear missiles. Going to Romans 9-13, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So the Lord hates Esau because he's wicked. Look what he did to this place. You know, the earth, America was once an inhabitable place. When before the natives came here, and when the native Indians and Latinos came here, this place was healthy and clean. But when Cristobal Colon came and took over, from him on out, they made America a waste. Now you got fluoride in the water. They spray chemtrails in the sky. They pollute the ocean. They killing all the damn animals, and then try to say humans need to stop or whatever. They got the animals on the endangered list. Some of them become extinct. I believe the white rhino or whatever. became extinct, which they're gonna be brought back in the kingdom. But yeah, you got the animals become extinct. They throw all this shit in the ocean and then say humans need to stop. Like what humans are doing it though? Like I made a post about that on Instagram, and Instagram deleted it talking about hate speech, but it's true. Like they say humans, but what race of humans are the ones doing it? Hey, Instagram is starting to get like YouTube. They damn system, you say something that's true, they want to take your stuff down and deem it as hate. So Instagram is pretty much like YouTube now. You can't do nothing without these devils taking down your video. Literally, you can't do nothing without these devils taking down your video. But going back to the scriptures, it says, verse 4 in Malachi 1 and 4, whereas Esau, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. That's that pride of these Edomites. But in Ezekiel 35, it said Esau's desolate places won't get rebuilt again. Yeah. So that Roman Empire and on now, the Roman Empire, which was Esau, Edom, they had 3 kingdoms that was built. And the Roman Empire was one. And then now, the captivity that we're in now, this is their 3rd. I forgot the second one, Salak. But each kingdom Esau had, it got torn down by the Lord and rebuilt back up. So each kingdom Esau had got torn down by the Lord and built back up. So that's why it says that we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. So these so-called white people are the border of wickedness. And the people against whom the Lord had indignation forever. So the Lord will hate them forever. Esau, Edom. And that's why this devil is going to become extinct, as it say in the book of Obadiah, because they're going to be slaves in the kingdom, but after the 1,000 years, we're going to give these other nations going to have peace. So Ham, so-called African, Ishmael, the Arabs, Elam, the East Indians, Chinese people, which is Moab, Ammon, which is Japanese. They're going to have peace. They're going to get their portions of land, and they're going to dwell there in peace, but they're going to be subjected unto Israel. They're going to be serving us still. They're going to be serving us, and they're going to give praises to the Lord, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. They're not going to be serving all those false idols that they got, like Buddha and what's that little block them Arabs be worshiping? Allah, that big ass stone block that they be bowing down, that they be worshiping. They ain't gonna be doing all that. They're gonna be serving Israel, but they're gonna be living peacefully. They're gonna be happy, because they ain't gonna have to worry about no red devil coming into their land trying to steal and take over like they're doing now. The U.S. and Iran. They ain't got to worry about red devil trying to kill them and all that. They're going to be living peacefully, subjected unto Israel. So they're going to be serving us. But if we were to do Esau like that, he would try to come up with another plan to overthrow Israel all over again. So he'll be trying to do the same stuff all over again. So that's why he got to become extinct. That's why these devils we're gonna get all these devils and we're gonna throw them in the furnace, and they're gonna burn and they're gonna become extinct. And ultimately, They just gonna be because the spirit don't die. So what's gonna happen is their spirit is gonna be brought back in the loins of the heathen nations. So they'll come back as a different nation, probably Ham or Elam or Ishmael. But it ain't gonna be no more Edomites ever again. They're gonna become extinct. I had something I was gonna say, but I forgot. A sister had in her dream that these other nations, they were happy when we came down, and they would give us goods and treats and gifts because they would want a blessing and they would be real happy. But she said she saw Esau and they was mad. They hated us. You could see it in their eye. And that's how it's gonna be in the kingdom. It's like but yeah, Esau Edom is the border of wickedness. You got wicked people of our nation, wicked as fake, grimy, evil ass people of our nation. So you got wicked people of our nation, but you got the wicked. You got the wicked, like the wicked as a label. But yeah, I'm gonna get the book of Obadiah on what's gonna happen with Esau Edom. Alright, so this is the book of Obadiah. It's the book of Obadiah 1. So slide here real quick. This is the book of Obadiah 1. So this is Esau, the humiliation of Esau Edom, because they humiliated Yahweh Shai when they crucified him when they was the Romans. So this is the humiliation of Esau Edom, as it says in Matthew 27 and 27, how they humiliated Yahweh Shai. They put the crown of scorns on his head, which is like real thick needles, about like that, and they hit him in the head with a reed, as it say in in Mark 15 and 16, they hit him in the head with a reed, with the scorns of crown he had on his head. And also they scourged him, which means to beat.